Hey guys, today we're talking about mountain bike helmets, specifically the Leatt MTB 4.0 Enduro helmet. Hope you got that right. Now you're thinking, Lance, that's not the 4.0, that's the last year's or even a few years back DPX 3.0. This is the 4.0, this is the new one, full face helmet, downhill rated with removable chin guard. So the question is, well, what was wrong with this one? Why don't I just keep this one? Well, I must admit, it's hit the ground a fair few times now. In fact, this sticker here on the side is basically sticking it together because it's broken. It's hit the ground, I reckon, about 4 or 5 times now, and each time it's done that, my head's been in it. It's protected my head really well, which is great. No long-term damage from all those head knocks. What was I talking about again? Oh, that's right. No long-term damage from all those head knocks. But still, it's been hit the ground enough times. Time for a new one. So the question is, why this helmet? Why full face helmet? Why a removable chin guard? Why a Leatt? Okay, first of all, full face. If you're as good looking as me, YouTube superstar, it's important to look after your face. And so that's why I like to ride with a downhill helmet. Now, if you watch my videos, I ride with a lot of guys, we call ourselves Dad's Army. Some of them are seriously ugly, eh? Don't tell them that, but they're seriously ugly. And they will often wear an open face helmet. I'm joking, of course. Even if you're ugly, you should still protect your face. So, you know, if a downhill helmet, full face helmet, in a lot of situations, if you're doing jumps, riding park, you know, is worth having. The other thing is, and if you look at this helmet here, you'll see there's a little attachment there that's my own making, and that's where I attach my camera on. There is a little piece of plastic here, and that does actually click in there. It does come in and out. I don't think I'll ever need that. It's more vented this way, and it's easier to put the camera on. But this gives me an outstanding angle for videos. I can get almost the same as a chest view, except you've got the stabilization of your head. And also, if you're talking to somebody, then wherever you're looking, you're getting the shot. So that's one reason. So the other thing is to say, this is a downhill rated helmet. If you get the old one, I must admit, it was a good helmet, this, and to say, but you can kind of see there's a reasonable amount of flex. Oh, you know, and yeah. So it did its job, but this is next level. This is a step up. This seriously strong. This is much more rigid than the older model, and so, you know, it's got to be a good thing. I'll show you how the chin guard comes off, So as you can see, it's got these little latches, so you unlock it like that. Same on the other side. There you go. And then you kind of, to be honest, it was a little bit fiddly when I first got it, and it's like anything, it takes a few tracks, but you just kind of pull out, rotate it up, and it's off. And then you've got the two pieces there. So why do I want a removable chin guard? And there's a couple of reasons. Firstly, especially when I used to do enduro racing on the old steam bikes. And why do they call them steam bikes? Well, because there's basically steam coming out the top of your head as you're climbing up the hill. And what I used to do is I used to take my knee pads off, my elbow pads off, and take the chin guard off. I'd put the knee pads and elbow pads usually just wrapped around the top tube of the bike. This I'd usually just fit on my camel pack or just over my handlebars if I didn't have a camel pack on, and ride to the top. Especially if it's like an hour-long climb, it's worth cooling down a bit, get to the top, you're not completely overheated, and then you can do the reverse process and put it all back on again. In fact, talking of putting it back on again, let's see if we can do that, So there's various ways of doing that, but you kind of, in fact, sometimes you sit it on your lap there, put that in there, put that in there. Simple as that. And it's on. So that wasn't too difficult. So saying that, you can see it's pretty well vented. Look at the side. It's got some big vents in there, big vents there, vents at the back, vents on the side, vents at the front. So I must admit, especially now I'm filming on a chin mount, I must admit a lot of the time I will just leave the chin guard on. So it's not too hot, especially on the e-bike, because you don't get as hot. But you do have the option, as I say, of taking it off if you're going to be doing a really long climb. The other advantage of a removable chin guard, and this one is a real big one for me, is that I like to travel. I like to go overseas. Sometimes I'll take a bike with me, sometimes I won't. In fact, if I go on a holiday, it wouldn't matter. If I went to Fiji, I would take my helmet and my bike shoes and some pedals. That's just me. But let's just take that back off again. All right, so again, simple as that. So now I've got an open face helmet, and one of the things with traveling is that, as I say, you've got a full face for the downhill, for the bike park, but if you just want to do the valley trails, or you just want to go to the shops, you know, to get some groceries or down to the pub, you've got an open face helmet. You can just slip that on. I mean, you don't really want to be wearing a full face helmet to go down to the pub on a Friday night, do you? So anyway, that's what that's for. Now the other thing is that if you're traveling and you want to put a full face helmet in your suitcase or in a travel bag, they're really awkward things to fit in. Whereas you take the chin guard off and you can kind of put that in the bag like that, pack your clothes in and around it. It fits in a normal size bag really, really easily. So for traveling, for versatility, that's why I like to have the removable chin guard. A few other features of the helmet. Does have, and you can see here, some little places where your sunglasses, you can slide your sunglasses in. I don't tend to ride with sunglasses very much, but I've tried it out with goggles, and the goggles will fit either on the back or the front quite nicely. The visor can pull right up. I must admit, one of the really important things for me is that I don't like seeing the visor when I'm riding, but yeah, if I have it up a little bit there, it's just about perfect for me. What other features are the fidlock? The fidlock I really like to say. It's the same on the other one, but you almost just need to get them close to each other, and it's, you know, it just clicks in together. Often when I'm riding along, I take my helmet on and off a lot when I'm filming, but literally I can almost just throw them and they'll just click together. So that's really cool. It does have some extra chin pads, or cheek pads I should say, and I do like that. The only thing I didn't like about this helmet is that it only came with one set of liners, and the previous one had two, and so that was really good. I like clean stuff. I've got 3 pairs of knee pads, so I'll wash those, and I've always got a fresh pair. Same with gloves, and same often with the helmet. I wouldn't do it that frequently, but yeah, I could wash them, literally put a fresh set on, and I was good to go the next day, because these can take a little bit of time to dry out sometime. So you've got 2 sets of those, but you've only got 1 set of the inner, saying that they're pretty thin and they would dry out pretty quick. One of the concerns I did have is the back of the helmet didn't seem to have much padding there, but actually when you put it on, you realize that your head doesn't actually come into contact with that part of the helmet, and so it's actually very comfortable. And I think comfort is really important when you're talking helmets. It's important with any safety gear. I've got one of those full body suits, you know, shoulder pads, back plate, chest plate, the whole 9 yards. It really, really good protection, but I never ever wear it because it's just too hot and too uncomfortable. And the same with full faces. Back in the day, as I say, we'd go to Whistler and you'd have a full face, but you wouldn't dream of trying to climb a hill with a full face on back in the day. Just too hot and too uncomfortable. So having a light helmet, and I believe this thing's just about 800 grams, a little bit over, so it's a pretty light full face helmet, well ventilated. You're going to wear it all day because it's comfy. So anyway, pretty cool helmet. They come in a range of colors. This one's a pretty wild color, but if you just want the stealth black, they make one of those. I've gone for the wild color. It's kind of become one of my trademarks, really, is my helmet, and so I thought I'd go for a pretty wild color again. If you're in New Zealand and you want to buy one of these, probably the best place is go to bikelab.co.nz, and you can buy them online there and they'll ship them out to you. If you're going actually in through Hamilton, through Te Rapa, you can stop in at the shop there and say Lance from Best Day Ever sent you, and they might give you a discount. Actually, they might not. They might actually charge you extra. But anyway, it's worth a chance anyway. If you do like the video, love it if you subscribe. The old thumbs up, like, and all that sort of stuff. Really appreciate that. And anyway, if you like the video, we'll see you on the next one.